and we have series of other people who are going to be there. I just to pick up a few names, I have got them here. This event is done in partnership with association partners, NASCOM, 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗁, Bengaluru, 𝗂𝗵𝗲𝗁, US India, and of course a support of a lot of associations. Many of you are here today, and I thank you for coming once again. These are again, I don't want to bore you with more numbers, but these are just the broad highlights of what we are looking at in BTS 2023. It is certainly going to be a mega event with participation.
Very big thanks to all the industry leaders and their inputs, very valuable inputs which have been shared today. With that, I would like to call Shri Priyank, 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗯, Minister of IT, PT, Rural Development, Panchayati Raj, Karnataka, to share this.
A warm welcome to all of you for the Bengaluru Tech Summit. Here in Delhi, I have a very difficult job in front of me. That is trying to keep you awake to understand it. And more importantly, I guess you're hungry as well. So, 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗏𝗶 So I'll try to wind up as quickly as possible. But firstly, on behalf of the government of Karnataka, I would like to thank all of you over here, the dignitaries over here, for your time. It's really much appreciated by all of us over here. So I think most of the questions that I have put forth have been answered in some way or the other satisfactorily. And a few others will definitely ensure that it is taken up, because I've got a lot of questions. I think most of you said that my portfolio should change, the name of my portfolio should change. So actually it is IT, it's information technology, biotechnology and electronics. And I also happen to be the minister from 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗏𝗵𝗶, Rural Development and Panchayat. So just imagine all the entire definition coming here. I need a separate slide. So I think 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗏 over here just decided to knock off electronics. And then somebody suggested that I put 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗏𝗏 as well. So then if I start doing it, I think I'll only have a designation and no work. So anyway, that being aside, on the lighter side, I'm here to request your cooperation and request all of you to help Karnataka go beyond just we are here to request you to break boundaries together. So Bengaluru, as you know, is not a very big city. Also, although it traces its history back to the 9th century, it's only in 1537 that Bengaluru emerged as a hub for trade and commerce. So then chieftain who founded Bengaluru had foreign traders and artisans who settled in the city, providing them land for their activities. This initiative ignited the entrepreneurship spirit of the city. So what you call special economic zones now, Bengaluru had done that in the 16th century. So we had these small clusters which was trading for cotton, salt, oil. So that's how we started our journey. And from this entrepreneurship spirit that you see today has been burning bright past 500 years now. So our state has been fortunate enough to have forward-thinking administrators with a strong scientific temperament who have championed economic entrepreneurship. So over the years, we have evolved from a very small trade and commerce hub to now being the world's 4th largest technology cluster. And this did not happen overnight. So a lot of people over here were talking about skilling, but take a look at our education landscape in Karnataka. We have 234 engineering colleges, we have 60 medical colleges, we have 44 universities, 1,777 public and private industrial training institutions. We have the Indian Institute of Management, we have the Indian Institute of, we have the IIITB, we have the Indian Institute of Science, we have the ISRO, and we are producing probably the highest number of employable graduates in the workforce. We did not get to be here overnight, like I said. From being a small trade and commerce hub to moving on to a technology powerhouse, the style. And now when we speak today, all of you are speaking about about manufacturing, we are talking about competing with the Bay Area, we are talking about competing with China. I mean, look at our journey and how quickly we have done it. Even earlier when we would talk about technology, we were talking about IT services. We were at STPI, has been our partner for 25 years, Mr. �ฤซี้said. So that time it was only services. We were the call center for the world. We were the back office, we were the call centers for the world. Then we moved on to back office operations with financial operations, banking operations, title processing operations, and from there we moved on to other services, and from there we moved on to becoming a research and development hub. Out of, like Dr. Paul said, out of the top 500 Fortune companies, more than 400 of them have their R&D facilities, biggest R&D facilities in Karnataka. And from R&D ecosystem, we are moving on to the innovation and invention ecosystem. So that's where we are coming from, and we have traveled this journey in less than 3 decades. It has taken us probably 25 years, 20 to 30 years to be where we are. Karnataka is #1 in India Innovation Index. We are #1 in IT services and PT services exports. We are #1 in foreign direct investment with a whopping 38% FDI coming in. With 40% share, we are #1 in electronics design in India. In machine tools manufacturing, we have the highest 52% share in India. In aerospace and defense manufacturing, we have an unbelievable 65% share. Karnataka currently is exporting close to around $4.52 billion worth of electronics. Biotechnology, production and exports is at 60%. In renewable energy, 63% of the total installed capacity from renewable sources are from renewable sources. These are just not numbers. This is government policies working for them. This is how we ensure that we generate high rate of success. We have 1/3 of the tech talent of India. 1/3 of the tech talent of India. We have close to around 25,000 startups with 140 accelerators and incubators. We have 43 unicorns, and we have 47 soon-to-be unicorns as well. Last year, we raised close to around $67 billion to VCs, and our startup ecosystem is worth close to around $200 billion. So this is the ecosystem we are bringing here, and we are inviting you to be a part of this ecosystem. So how are we doing? Like how Dr. Devon and everybody else are breaking boundaries. How are we breaking boundaries? We as a state have always been hungry to achieve more. We want to be resilient. We want to be future ready. And as a state that we feel that if we want to maintain the leadership position, we have to be ready for future challenges. And to be ready for future challenges, the best thing that we can do is listen to industry captains like yourself. Listen to people, stakeholders like yourself. And we need to break more boundaries to ensure we not only cater to India but to the world as well. So in order to do that, we are doing 5 or 6 very simple things. Most of it is something that you have already spoken about, but I'd like to reinforce the things that you have also suggested to us. Firstly, what are we doing? We are scaling heavily into scaling. Like I said earlier, we have formed a skills advisory committee in emerging technologies. We are in which the industry is a part. The higher education department is a part of it. So that we understand from the industry what is it that they want, and we try to make it a part of the curriculum itself. We make it a part of the syllabus so that we produce the most employable workforce. But that's going to take time. Whatever suggestions comes from the industry, it takes 1 or 2 academic years for it to become a part of the syllabus. So in between, the band-aid solution that the government of Karnataka is providing is through these councils. So if the industry body comes up to me, let's say 𝗙ecie comes up to me and says that I need 2,000 engineers in the next 3 years, which I'm going to deploy across the world, I'm ready to train those 2,000 engineers provided you give me the curriculum. I'm ready to put my skin in the game. We have 50% cost both by government, 25% by the graduate, 25% by graduate. It's a win-win situation for all of you. That industry ready, the the attrition rate will become lower, and more importantly, the employee becomes more productive for the company from probably day 30 instead of day 300. So we are trying to see how we can ensure that we become the leaders in skilling. And trust me, when I say that we can skill for the world. When I was in, when Dr. Gaur and we were in Bay Area looking for investments and we were doing the roadshow there, every boardroom that we sat, we had close to around 44 to 45 meetings in 5-6 days that we were in the Bay Area. Every board meeting that we sat in asked us one question: are you skill ready? Today iPhone is being manufactured in Bengaluru, in Karnataka. Are we skill ready? Yes, we are skill ready. They told us that America requires close to around probably a million chip designers in the next 7 to 10 years. Is there any country that can deliver that? It is probably only India that can. And in India, which is the state that can deliver that? Definitely Karnataka. With all due respect to all the people sitting here from the capital city, a lot of people think that Bengaluru is the capital of India, not Delhi, for whatever reason. So the point I'm trying to make here is that is the government of Karnataka agile enough to come up with these skill sets for our graduates? Yes, we are. Why? Because we are breaking boundaries with the So that's exactly what we are looking for here. So anybody who has any suggestions for us in skilling, we have to advertise. The second important thing that we are doing is we are creating these centers of excellence, which was in the presentation as well. You'll be surprised to know that the government of Karnataka runs the highest numbers of centers of excellence. We run centers of excellence in deep tech, IoT, cybersecurity, agri-innovation, data science and AI, aerospace, semiconductor, fabless, machine intelligence and robotics and animation. We also have a center of excellence for efficiency augmentation, and all these COEs have churned out probably some of the best startups for the ecosystem as well. And like I said earlier, these centers of excellence are being driven to nurture talent, to nurture leadership in this sector, to incubate innovations and inventions, and to ensure that Karnataka delivers probably the best innovations and inventions for the state of Karnataka and also for the world. And by this financial year end, we'll be diving deep into new technology sectors and having more centers of excellence in health science and medical devices, manufacturing and design, as somebody over here designed, automobile technology, wireless and wireless products, a biotechnology accelerator for BT startups to scale up, and we're also going to have a gaming accelerator. So these centers of excellence will be spread throughout Karnataka hub and spoke model to ensure that innovation is not limited only to Bangalore. The third important thing that we are doing for our ecosystem is we are trying to create a global ecosystem. We have created the Global Innovation Alliance for exchange of knowledge and also for creating market access for our startups and as well as startups that are in our innovation alliances. So we already have around 23 countries with as our partners, and we intend to go to at least 50 by next year end. And all these innovation alliances are not random. We have very, very specific tech corridors that are being assigned by each other. So, for example, we are talking to Australia for marine biotech. We are talking to Netherlands for cybersecurity. We are talking to AmCham and 𝗵𝗵𝗶 for seeing whether we can stimulate the entire 𝗙𝗵𝗄 sector. So we are very sector specific when it comes to our innovation alliances, so that we know what to do. It should not become just a photo op with foreign delegates. So we need to ensure that we know what are our deliverables versus the deliverables of our alliance partners. You'll be surprised to know that one of our startups that is being nurtured within the startups in Karnataka has now got market access to Germany. So they provide some security access, some contactless security solution. Because of our partnership with Germany and the city of Düsseldorf, we were able to send our startups to the city of Düsseldorf to access the German market. And because Germany is a part of the European Union, now they have access to the entire Europe. So this is the kind of bridges that we are trying to build for our startups. Fourth, and one of the more important things is we want to create a conducive environment for investment beyond Bengaluru. Like one of our friends over here mentioned that Bengaluru is getting congested. Of course, everybody has aspirations, everybody likes to live in a prosperous city. But as a government, we are having a cluster-specific approach across Karnataka. So we are having semicon industries in Mysuru, we have in the aerospace industry in Belgavi, we have the logistics industry in we are creating a toy cluster in Koppal, accessories cluster in electronics accessory cluster in Kharge. So we are trying to spread our because we have Karnataka government has the appetite for such investments, and we have the appetite for emerging technologies as well. So we are providing a conducive environment for investment beyond value. And more importantly, and something that I think all of you will appreciate here, and a lot of you have been speaking about is ease of doing business. How will I heard one of my friends saying that he was very diplomatic, saying that we don't want surprises. So what is surprises means a policy that will kill the industry. So that's what is happening with a lot of emerging technology industries that are coming up right now. So what we are doing is we are ensuring that a single window system does not lead to many doors. Yes, there is a single window system right now, but we want to ensure that we participate with you. We are coming up with a new industrial policy or a technology policy, which will ensure that we listen to you, sector-based. So something that might be working for roads might not be working for some other sector. Another friend of mine was talking about the idea of not talking to each other. If I should able to make a policy or a doing business for these two things in my centers of excellence or as a policy, it will help them. Or probably, I always make the statement saying that governments don't understand technology. Any government. We are always playing catch up to technology. Right now, we speak so much about AI. While we are encouraging AI, European Union is trying to regulate AI. Yeah, the US government is trying to regulate AI. So are we trying to do something here which we don't know. So the idea of doing this is to ensure that we listen to industry, we listen to sectors, individually. We come up with policies that will ensure that your businesses thrive. Like suddenly, of course, whatever the state government can do. I have little or no control over what the central government do, but we will be more than happy to liaison for your vertical with the central government. For example, the gaming industry is going through a lot of problems because we have failed to understand what is the game of skill versus chance, and we have put the 28% tax, we have branded everything, we are seeing everything in the same light, and it's killing the industry. But that's something that the central government does. But as a state government, as the custodian of the technology, of course, we are not into betting of any kind, we are strongly against it, but you cannot, just because we don't understand it, we can't feel it. So we need to create a sandbox environment for policies as well. So this is what we are trying to come up with. So even the fintech industries, we had an open house with the fintech industries, and there are a lot of regulations with RBI that needs ironing out. So who's going to talk to them? Of course, individual companies can go and talk to governments, but it will be individual stuff. But as a government, if I am able to make a case for you, we'll be more than happy to do. This is the kind of policies we'll be bringing in. This is the kind of piece of doing business we will be dealing with the government of Karnataka. So lastly, like I said, mentioned earlier, besides ease of doing business, one of the most important things that we will be doing for startups is having a preparation, a public procurement policy. So if you are a registered startup, if you are a registered SME, MSME with a unique IP or a unique service, the government of Karnataka will be more than happy to pilot it, or maybe even procure if it is good for the government. this is something that I think will be a game changer. So of course it won't be a huge thing. So let's say there's a tender for 1,000 rupees of some procurement of some devices. 100 rupees can, 10% of that can be, 5% of that can be kept aside for new innovations for testing. So one, because most of the startups, not everybody requires money. Some of them require mentorship, some of them require market access, some of them require incubation, some of them just require a first customer. So the government is willing to do all these things for you, provided it is innovative in assumptions that can be established that is going to help the public at large, and the government at large. So this preferential public procurement policy, I think, will be a game changer for startups and SMEs and MSMEs. So these 5-6 small interventions, I think, is what we are, what together, when put together, will be breaking boundaries for the department and for the government of Karnataka. So when we say that the government of Karnataka is, or the Bengaluru Tech Summit is just about a great tagline, no. We are here to break boundaries together by listening to you, by understanding you, by implementing whatever is feasible for the greater good of the sector, for the greater good for the people of people. So breaking boundaries is very clear. Like it says, innovation from India and impact for the world. So government of Karnataka is no more competing with Chennai, with Hyderabad, or even with Delhi, like some of my colleagues said. The closest competitor to my IT services is close to around $249 billion. The closest competitor to my startup ecosystem is at least 20,000 startups. So I gave you these numbers earlier about manufacturing and everything. So I don't want to dwell on that. But if I am serious of competing with China, what they have achieved in 25 years, I need to do it in less than 5 years. I need to do it in less than 5 years. And if I need to do it in less than 5 years, I need to have my ear to the ground. I need to pay attention to what industry captains are saying. I need to pay attention to what the ecosystem wants. And that itself is going to break a lot of boundaries. Is what the government of Karnataka is. So we are looking to break boundaries together. We are looking to innovate in India for an impact for the world. So I'm looking forward. I'll not take much of your time. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all in Bengaluru. I like the last slide that Dr. Kaur presented. She said, of course, along with business, along with technology, weather-wise or otherwise, we are great. Weather is always good. Of course, you know, so at least for the weather, you should drop by to Bengaluru Tech Summit. Have a look at our infrastructure. Not as crumbling as people make it out to be. And we are the only city that you can find the great weather, do our own beer, make our own wine, we also steal our own single malts. So the infrastructure is great. We are also the pensioners' paradise, along with the tech capital. We are also the pub capital of India. So everything being here only for long from the people from Bengaluru, then India. So the point I'm trying to make here is that we are great hosts. Please drop by to the Bengaluru Tech Summit. Like I said, we cannot thrive in isolation anymore. We need to work together to ensure that we break more boundaries for impacting the world through India. Thank you so much for your attention.